Here, I'm going to close out with just one more thing real quick. I'm going to do it real fast. I just want to make a point because somebody in the community is putting out a lot of bad information, and they're telling people that Chaldean is the cipher to learn if you're new to Gematria. No, it couldn't be further from the truth. Again, I just want to make a point real quick. Coronavirus, COVID vaccine, Regeneron, when spelled right, Anthony Fauci, Washington, D.C., Society of Jesus, toilet paper. Again, think about coronavirus and toilet paper. Mind control, all-seeing eye. The list goes on. Okay, the most important cipher to know in Gematria is the one that Manly P. Hall stated in Secret Teachings of All Ages when it comes to English, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And that's why the first 3 years that I was here, I did close to 90% of my research through that cipher, And just take a look in Chaldean, the values you get for all of these things. They're all different. You only have one single overlap in all those terms, and it's Washington, D.C. and Anthony Fauci, which is interesting because this is not I'm not saying Chaldean's not an important cipher. It's just, it's an accessory cipher. It's not that important when it comes to decoding the English language. And you can prove this all day, every single day by looking at what's actually being done by people in the world who use the knowledge, and even just like the organic side of the code. And again, it's just absolutely absurd. And it's not just the letters into numbers. It's the fact that, look at the list. Society of Jesus. Here, let's add another one to the list. Let's add actually a couple more. Paris, France, and climate change. Let's add both of those. The Jesuits from Paris, France. The climate accords in Paris. Again, coronavirus. It simulated the first case in the world in a span of 56 days. The COVID vaccine. Right after it goes live, Captain Tom dies 56 days after the first person got it. A day after the Burma campaign hero, okay, let me rewind. Here, let me add another one to the list. Maggie Keenan, the first person vaccinated in the world for coronavirus. Okay, and while we're at it, let me add one more. Burma campaign. Okay, Captain Tom, known for the Burma campaign, died one day. And by the way, George Orwell's first book, Burmese Days, the first number mentioned in the book is 56. George Orwell's in the Fabian Society connected to the Jesuits. But anyway, Burma campaign equals 56. Captain Tom dies from coronavirus 56 days after Maggie Keenan's vaccinated, the first person in the world, one day after Burma's government falls. And again, in a huge 56 ritual. Not to mention it was a whole huge 201-177, which is another big Jesuit number scheme ritual. But anyway, all these 56s, coronavirus, the silver lining was it helped with climate change, as they reported. All of these numbers have been related to the ritual. Gavin Newsom, whose name equals 56, and you're on it in reverse, said 56% of California will get coronavirus in 8 weeks, which is 56 days. Boris Johnson's reading a 56-page winter plan for what to do about COVID. He's saying the UK strain is 56% more infectious. You have the Jesuits logo above the Prime Minister's door at 10 Downing Street. Again, this cipher, and we're talking about coronavirus, you can use this cipher for so many things to see through the majority of a ritual. Chaldean, I mean, you can make some interesting connections, and without the base ciphers, I wouldn't even know where Chaldean fits in half the time. But there's just somebody out there poisoning the well, putting out really bad information, preaching cowardice, telling everybody the world's a simulation. If you're getting into Gematria, make sure you're listening to me and using the Chaldean cipher. It's just like, okay. You're going to miss the whole relevance of this. The point of knowing this knowledge, the point of having knowledge, period, is to empower yourself in the world. It is to empower yourself. Being knowledgeable of your enemy is one of the most important things you can do, even according to the Jesuits. They let you know in Sun Tzu. Otherwise, if you can't recognize your enemy, you're never going to defeat them. You're going to forever be manipulated. But anyway, with the Chaldean cipher, like had I read in Manly P. Hall's The Chaldean Cipher, I mean, I would have never found anything, and I would have just moved on to the next topic looking for the answer of numbers in the news. Because I read Manly P. Hall, an expert in the occult, and went with his advice, it's made a world of difference. So this clown who's emerged, who's telling everybody that Chaldean is the cipher, Again, you guys, you can prove all day, and that's why if you watch, honestly, I can't even believe anybody's watching that channel because they're the worst decodes, decode after decode. But yeah, putting out nothing but poison and venom, and that needs to be corrected as well. So I'm going to do that real quick, and we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Again, thank you to everyone who hit the like.